you have been watching my videos, you know that I think Hydrogen is a good companion for writing your songs, doing riffing and things like that. And you can use Hydrogen to basically even write your whole structure of your song there. And but at some point you want to go from Hydrogen into actual DAW to record your song and start producing it. And the topic of this video is how you can go from Hydrogen, where you have your drum samples, your kit done, even the track or the structure of your song. How do you go from that to Ardour and even back and back and forth? So that's kind of like what I'm trying to show. And there is no perfect way of doing that, but there is at least one way of doing that. So here I have. So if you watch my previous video, I have in Kala, I have my single chain for guitar, I have a gate, my own amp, which is SMS Northern Perkele, and then I have a convolution plugin that is a cabinet emulation. And then I have Hydrogen here, and it's all just going to this stereo routing that has absolutely no other meaning than it just routes the output for different outputs, so that you can hear it, I can hear it, I can record it and things like that. So this is my guitar single chain now. And Hydrogen is a drum machine here where I have this song made. It's completely original song, and it's called Faster Than Muppets. So this is what I have designed, and this is what I want to start recording in DAW. Original. I hope I'm not going to get sued by that. Yeah. Anyway, so the point is that I have been playing with Hydrogen, doing the drum lines for myself and doing the riffing, and now I kind of have the idea of the song and I want to go to DAW and start producing or recording it. So basically I want to switch from Hydrogen to something else. Let's start by clearing out what I have here in Kala. So I will get rid of my single chain here. Just bluntly go and remove, and remove. I'm also going to actually disconnect Hydrogen because I don't want to use it here. I need to use it elsewhere. Let's disconnect, and then I will launch Ardour so that I can, start doing the producing on Ardour. Let's call it, what did I say? Faster Than Muppets? Faster Than Muppets. And I'm having quite a lot of extras here. I think that's because I'm recording. So yeah, let's hope that my computer can handle this. Yeah, so Ardour is now loading. We can see the lines are popping in here, the Kala. I actually wouldn't even need to have Kala open here, except that I have my microphone routed here, and obviously the routing plugin. And actually, I'm now noticing that we need to route those as well, what I have in Kala, to the routing plugin. So this is something that you don't have to do. I just have to do it for the sake of recording. So I will disconnect those Ardrour things from here. So click and the master, and then I will put them to this routing plugin. Yeah, so that was just for the sake of recording here. You don't have to do anything like that normally. But yeah, now we have Ardour here, it's open, and first thing what we do is we need two lines. We need the MIDI line for the drum, and then we need the audio line for the drum. So if we right click here, we can add a new track. Let's add a new MIDI track. Let's call it drums MIDI. It's a mono track. We can actually create a group. I usually like to create groups, so because I'm going to have multiple tracks for drums, I will just create a group called drums. I'm not going to control anything by that group. I just want to have, tidy up, so it's just going to have the same color. So let's call a group. Let's create a group called drums and add drums MIDI track into that. Add and leave open because we also want to add drums audio. And that's going to be an audio track, obviously, and it's going to be a stereo track into the same drums group. Add and close. And now for the drums MIDI. So the MIDI input for this drums is actually nothing. So we can go here on the input and disconnect everything. We are going to export the hydrogen track and just copy it here or basically import it here on this track. But this track, in order to use the samples that we have in hydrogen, we need to output whatever comes out of this track into hydrogen. So let's do that. So the output we will disconnect from master and we will open the routing grid. So again, because of the power of Jack audio sound system, every application that is hooked into Jack system, you can actually see here and wire them together. So at the other tab, we can see that the drums MIDI out channel that we have here, it's just numbered here, the MIDI channel that it has. I will link that MIDI channel into hydrogen, just like that. And now hydrogen gets the input that I have here in this MIDI channel. So then hydrogen obviously wants to output the sound of the samples. So we want to listen to those samples. So that will be the input of our drums audio. So I will disconnect again the audio that was pre-selected here and go to routing grid. And we should again find somewhere here on the, maybe on the other, we can see the hydrogen main output left and right, which we want to link into our drums audio input left and right. And that's how we can have a MIDI track here that is going to play into hydrogen and going to output there as an audio into this other track. So now, since we have the track here, we can just go on project and export MIDI file. Faster than Muppets, export it there. And to order, we will select the MIDI track, session, import, and find that MIDI track here. We will add it the selected track, and I think everything else is probably just fine, I think, and just import. So now we can close this. So we now have the whatever we had in hydrogen, we now actually have here as a MIDI track in Ardour. And since this outputs the MIDI notes into hydrogen, we will hear the same samples that we have the loaded kit there, and we will get the output of whatever the mixer here gives the output. So you could actually even, do the mixing here, and maybe you should do the mixing here of the drums. I think you should do the mixing here in hydrogen because it's made for that. Yeah, so all we need to do is that we need to check that we have the disk enabled. So we want to monitor the playback, which means that when we play this, it will actually output it to Ardour. And then we want to listen to this. So we want to have the input enabled so that we hear the notes that we put here. So now if I play this, we should actually hear the drums. Nice. And since it's MIDI, you can change the tempo, and here we have the tempo is 120. In my original track I had 200, so let's just go on and change the tempo back to 200 because that was how I wanted my song to be. So let's listen again. Yeah. So that's how we have the drums here, and now for the sake of completeness we could just add the guitar track here as well. So let's do guitar 1 left. By the way, when you're doing the rhythm track, you want to have left and right recorded separately. You want to pan the left track into left and right track into right. So that and when you record them separately, you want to be as accurate as you can in recording, but it's still, because of the small imperfections, it will sound really much more massive than it would sound with a single track. So we do a audio track, guitar left channel, that would be a mono track. Let's create a new group again. Let's call it guitar 1. Again, I just want to group them for the sake of being tidy. And let's add that. And then let's add also guitar 1 right. So all I do is I just change the name to guitar 1R, add that, and then I will add one more, which will be a audio bus, to which I collect the left and right guitar 1. So this will be my guitar 1 stereo output actually. So this configuration would be a stereo, and I will add it to the same group, and it's an audio bus. Add and close. And now, as I said, we want to hard pan, so this we want to add so that the output of the guitar 1 left recording comes 100% from the left, and same for the right one, 100% from the right. Input is my input 1 in my audio interface, so I will put input 1 there, and input 1 and there. And now I want to change the output of the left one. I want that to go into input of my guitar 1 bus, which is the guitar 1 input here. So now it goes to this guitar 1 bus instead of master directly. Also, I want to add the right one, also not directly to master, but first to the guitar input 1. And the reason for that is that then you have this collective control of the tone here, and I would 100% recommend adding a equalizer here. So I like to use Calf Equalizer 8 band is usually very good for that. It's really nice, this visual plugin that you can see even the frequency response of the guitar. So it's easy to analyze and see how the guitar sounds. Okay, so now we want to obviously listen to this, so we will add the input monitoring on for both of them. And we can see the guitar, there is no plugins, so that's why we can just hear, the normal guitar tone. Let's add the plugins now. We will add Zamgate. Then we will add the SMS Northern Perkele, which is my amp. Link in description. SMS Northern Perkele, like that. And then also the cabinet impulse response LV2 convolution. Here I will use mono because I have mono track. So gate, Northern Perkele convolution, insert. Then we will add the fader as the last one, and then we will load the impulse response to the convolution by double clicking it. And then we will go from here to find the impulse response which you have loaded from somewhere deep from the internet. I use the Guitar Hack original Between usually in almost everything that I do. Now I should have and I do have the distorted signal on my left channel, but not yet on the right channel. So I will just select these and copy and add here to the right channel, paste like that, and now I should have it in both channels. And then, as said, we have the equalizer here. So if I double click that, and we can add the analyzer on. So here we can really see the frequency response of the signal. So it's quite heavy on the low end. So I would actually add a high pass and maybe cut it a little bit, especially when adding the bass, because the bass is supposed to take those frequencies. We could also, brighten it up a little bit by raising the high portion. And so on. It's clipping because it's a little bit too loud, so I will also actually just put them a little bit down here. Maybe like that. Okay, and for this track, let's just shift it there so that we have some time to react on the recording. Bam. I think that's pretty good already, so let's try to record it. And I probably don't even remember anymore how I played it, but yeah, let's at least try. So I will add recording on, and as said, left and right separately. They're slightly differently. No, like that. I guess they are now somewhat okay. Yeah, let's just go with that. guess that's enough. And then I think those might actually be X runs. I'm not sure, but that's probably because I'm recording with OBS at the same time. So my computer is at the edge. But yeah, let's just record exactly the same thing, exactly the same thing another time for the right channel, and that's how we get that massive sound for the guitar. Oh, not like that. That's I think I did it like that the first time. Okay, and now I didn't have the output monitoring on, so now when I switch them both on and we listen, that we should have this quite massive guitar sound. Let's see. And by the way, if you see those red ones there, that means that my input signal is too loud, so that's a bad thing. So I should actually put it a little bit down. But yeah, let's just go with this for now. Also, obviously, now that we route the MIDI to the Hydrogen and listen for the audio here, we need to have Hydrogen loaded all the time. To get rid of that, we need to record it as an audio track here. So I will just, enable the recording there and just play it. Like that. So now we have an audio track also from the drums, so we can just we can mute this, we can disable the input monitoring for this, and we can just have the disk monitoring, so basically the monitoring that when we listen to that playback monitoring. Why it's called disk? That's kind of input makes sense, but disk, I don't know. Anyway, so now we have them. And we can shut that down. And yeah, if something still, you would add the bass line there. And as I showed the equalizer, we can actually listen it now, and you can see how this affects. Yeah, so that was kind of like also demonstrating the Calf equalizer. I haven't been saying enough about that because it's really, really good plugin. And actually, when I installed Ubuntu Studio, I think 21 point something, that was included. But now that I upgraded, I did the fresh install of Ubuntu Studio 2022 or 22 version. I did not have these Calf plugins there, so I had to actually separately get them. You can get them from the repos. Just Google where to get them. It was, quite simple to find them. But I'm actually very surprised that they were not included in the package by default. Anyway, that's how you go between your Hydrogen and Ardour and record guitars and things like that. Normal stuff that you would do if you do these kind of things. Leave a like, subscribe, that makes me happy. And thank you for the 51st subscribers that I already got. That's nice. See ya. Hi, so this is a post-scripture, I guess. I realized how tedious it looks when I'm doing things in my video, and that's because I was doing everything from scratch. I didn't use any templates. When using templates, things are simple. So here I have now only my recording setup when I'm recording my microphone, so just the normal routing thing that I have there, and a compressor for my mic. If I want to load my single chain for my guitar and do some riffing with hydrogen, I can just load another template here. I can remove all and then load another one. So it will cut the mic when I remove, but you will see how it goes. And now I have loaded back my my Record Plus Talk setup, which also has, when I actually I can reorder them a bit, but you know it's all there. But I have now hydrogen linked to my stereo output. I have the compressor still on my mic, and I do have my guitar single chain here as well. There is one thing though, the convolution does not, for some reason, remember the selected convolution, the impulse response file. So you always, when you load it, you always have to go to load the impulse response again, which is kind of stupid. I don't really know why that is. Maybe someone should debug that and fix it. Anyway, so that's how fast. It's basically just double click in Kala and you have your riffing setup for hydrogen. And then when you go to Ardour, basically the same templating thing applies. So let me clear things up here a bit. So let's just remove all and add the recording setup. So yeah, now I only have the talk setup. So if I now go to Ardour, I actually saved the previous thing that I did in Ardour as a template. I think I cleared something up from there, but let's make a new session. Then I'm using my template. So this is the one that I saved. I will open that. And let's see if I have now everything as I would expect. Let's give it a few seconds. Yeah, let's take a look at the Kala. So now, still a little bit, this is so unusable like this. Oh, yeah, but now I have everything routed exactly as I want them to be already. And I just created a new project from template. So I have my MIDI drum output is already linked to hydrogen. And by the way, hydrogen must be running when you open this template because otherwise it cannot find it and so on. Or the audio is coming from hydrogen. My guitars already have the templates on, so I can just go on and record. So it's that fast when you set it up once. And that's basically what I wanted to say. So yeah, thanks. Subscribe again. Like again.